Okay. So welcome to Deep Dive with Dr. D. I'm glad you're here. It's a pretty nice Sunday morning in Ellensburg, and I have with me guest Ian Quitadamo. Yes, I like to get that right. My guest today, and I always like to do my shameless plug for the short story, The Wild Ride of My Life. That is your copy, my friend.
Oh, thank you, brother.
And I hear from people you can sit down and read that in one setting.
Awesome.
And you usually go, wow, you know a little bit of my story, but that kind of paints the picture of the wild ride of my life. And you can get that wherever you buy books. And then something new, so we got a couple new things, is this view being streamed to Facebook, which is a much better view. And then the other one is I'm going to start doing some advertising for if you have a local business. We'll do that. I'm not doing it today. So yeah, if you have an interest in that, you can email me at drdavidadouglas@gmail.com, drdavidadouglas@gmail.com, or just send me a message. Enough of that. Oof, man. And this episode, and then next weekend I'll be in sunny Arizona. And I think I'm going to do an episode down there, just me. And then the following week will be a really good friend, someone I've known since she was 14, Bailey Linder. She's a local business owner, local family. Bailey Duncan, that's her maiden name, Linder, the Linder family. So here we go. Welcome.
Good morning.
I love talking to Ian. So this is really cool. And you and I have just gotten to know each other just over the last year.
Yeah.
Right? You and my wife, Katrina, you work with her on her health, which we're going to talk a lot about that. So I'm a listener. You know, I listen to the functional part and the cost part because we've talked about the cost and all of that.
Which has changed a lot even since
I know. We're going to talk about that. I'm excited. But you and I share, we work in the Douglas Honors College. I work with McNair. And when we're in meetings, I always enjoy listening to you. Just how your brain works, and you and I have a lot in common and then I've also, you may not know this, I've kind of eavesdropped when you're teaching classes. It's cool. And then I hear the student side, which we're also going to talk about that. Emerson Miller, I've talked to her about your teaching and how you're just all in.
I am all in, absolutely.
So let's start with this. This is not a question on the list.
Good.
Introduce yourself to the world out there, whoever may not know anything about Ian. Who are you personally, professionally? Tell us about that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for the opportunity to come and share with your audience today. I'm Dr. Ian Quitadamo. I am a professional scientist and professor, and also an integrative health practitioner and an internationally certified integrative health practitioner. The part of the reason why I'm here today is I want to help people advocate for their health. It is the one thing that is really a non-negotiable for everybody. If you have great health, you never think about it. And if it's bad, you don't think of anything but
else. Oh my gosh.
You're just super focused on it.
Hyper focused. Like if something's going on, that's all we're thinking about.
Yeah, and I see it every single day. And so I became an integrative health practitioner because my wife got cancer, and that's a rough road to go, and so I'm a cell molecular biologist, and I'm aware of what's happening to her body as the cancer is being treated, and it really takes a biological toll. And so I made it my personal mission to help my wife Jody navigate through those challenges in as comfortable way as possible.
Can I interrupt you? So how was that for you? Because you're a scientist, so
right.
How was that for you mentally, emotionally, knowing what your wife's going through?
Yeah, I don't know if all men are like this, but I'm like this, which is, I'm protective.
Yeah.
Right. And so my first reaction is to protect my wife.
Yep.
And, she means more to me than anything. And so I'm just really, okay, what strategy are we going to use when you're getting the chemo? Okay. So we put ice on her hands and her feet to prevent circulation from going there. because when the chemotherapy goes to your extremities and your small blood vessels, it starts to destroy those and also negatively affect your nerves. And sometimes that can be permanent. So we call that neuropathy. And so by changing the circulatory response of her body when she's getting the treatments, it kept a lot of that drug from going to those extremities, so she never got neuropathy. And I fed her ice chips for an hour and a half, so it kept it away from her mouth.
So you being who you are, you love your wife, she's everything to you.
Yeah.
She gets this cancer diagnosis. I have this knowledge. I'm going to help that go much better for her.
Yes.
I'm going to try to save her in ways that maybe others couldn't or can't. You really
leveraging knowledge in a way to really connect with the human part. So we're in the cancer ward, and there are lots of people there, and very few of them have somebody there advocating. Right next to us was a woman who was constantly repeating these mantras to herself, and nobody was there to help her. It broke my heart to hear that. And so
and we hear that a lot in healthcare.
Oh yeah. So, I'm cracking jokes and making, trying to, and Jody really took charge of that aspect. She was always dressed to the nines when she went to her treatments. When she got home, while the steroids were still in her body, she would work out in the foyer to clear it metabolically as fast as she could from her body. I've never seen, I'm a 6-degree black belt in full contact karate. I've never seen anything that tough. And I've seen some very tough things in my life. But to watch my wife work out and every movement is an effort. And she's working out in the foyer in order to clear that. I'll never forget that. And she did it every time she got a treatment. So, and then she collapsed for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Body needs a reset.
Yeah.
So you're married.
Yeah.
Kids?
Yeah, we have 3 kids.
3. Tell me about them.
Yeah, so Jody's biological daughter and my bonus daughter is Lark.
Okay.
She's our oldest. Okay. She's 28. She lives with her fiance in San Francisco. Going to be moving up to Seattle or Bellevue soon, which we're all very excited about.
Yeah.
And then my biological kids, Jody's bonus kids, are Tasia and Saxon.
Cool.
And so...
How old are they?
Tasia's 27 and Saxon is going to be 25 on Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where do they live?
They live in Olympia. They live together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I talk to them every day.
Okay.
And we have a very close relationship. So they go with us, travel to places like Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
super cool. Yeah. And then you have 2 dogs. 1 dog?
We have 1 dog.
We were talking dogs before this. He got to meet Jerry, and Jerry's like, we almost lost our dog, so I'm going to have to watch him when he leaves. 2 dogs.
Yep. Well, we have 1 dog.
1 dog, sorry.
Yep. Luna Blue. She's an Aussie Shepherd.
Nice.
She's very, very smart. Anybody that has an Aussie knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
German Shepherd, Aussies. Yeah. You got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, how long have you and Jody been married?
We've been married almost 15 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Jody teach?
Well, we've been together 15 years, but we've been married about almost 12.
That's almost in line with me and Katrina.
Yep.
And what does she teach at the college?
She's a history professor, so she teaches history and political science. So nothing going on in that field right now.
Boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been at Central?
I've been at Central almost 25 years.
That's wild to me that you and I, we just work in different areas.
We do.
IT management, you in biology, but okay, so a while. And how long have you lived in Ellensburg?
The weekend that I got the job offer, I went and bought a house and went to look for a dojo all in the same weekend.
So were you on Pine Street, the dojo?
No. When we first...
Who was on Pine Street? Long time ago. What year did you move to Ellensburg?
2002.
Right, 2001.
Okay.
In 2004, when I had the Hungry Hippo, Sub Shop was on Pine. There was a karate place.
That was not us.
Was not you. Where were you?
We were doing stuff with Ellensburg Community Schools.
Okay.
And then that just became problematic over time. And so We were at the dance studio downtown for a little while.
Yep.
That didn't work long term either.
Yep.
And then we went back to community schools for a little bit, but they just don't prioritize community members and the schedule very well. So
sure.
We went and we're currently out at the Jazzercise studio.
Sweet.
And it's a perfect spot for us.
It's a great space.
Yep. Okay. So lots of room, lots of, and Sarah Nail, the owner of Jazzercise, is amazing.
She's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, we're getting to know you. This is good. Was it, and I know a little bit of this, but was it always your dream to become a college professor?
I mean, I've always sort of enjoyed the teaching process. So when I was working in cancer research and working on my PhD in genetics and cell biology,
where was that at?
That was at Washington State University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pullman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was a pre-med at WSU, and my original intention was to go and become a medical doctor. And the more I got into it, the more I was like, there's a couple things that don't sit quite right with me. One is I want to have a family, and you have to be available, right?
Yeah.
So I never really
I
had.
think you have to be more than available.
You do,
right?
do, yes. And I had a very dysfunctional father who was mostly absent most of my life, so I was bound and determined to not be that guy.
Okay.
And so
family's important to you.
It's number one.
Okay.
Yep. And so, just being a dad means being invested and being present, and so really focused on being available. So MD was not going to be the path for me for that reason, but it always bothered me that most medical doctors that I knew, and no disrespect to doctors at all, I'm just describing their practice, not them as people.
It's okay.
Is they were really just like a Pez dispenser for pharmaceuticals. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I stopped working towards becoming a medical doctor. I was prepared and ready to go to medical school, and then decided I don't want to do that. And then said, well, I still really am drawn to helping people. How do I do that? And so I decided to become a cancer researcher in cell molecular biology. And so I worked on breast cancer a lot, and did some cool stuff there. But it still led me right back to the same place, which was pharmaceuticals. And again, sometimes they're the right tool for the job, but frequently they're not. And so that was my experience.
I don't think it's any secret that, and like you're saying, and I agree that this isn't a hit on people who are doctors, but it's like, let's just give them a pill. And pharmaceuticals are multi-billion trillion dollar industry that are constantly pushing pills, right? Let's just give a pill and then give a pill to give a pill.
It's more than that.
Yep.
So when I was working as a cancer researcher, you get to know the industry, and it was really disillusioning for me because I was like, I didn't want to become an MD to get away from that mentality. I'll never forget. I was on a flight to Montreal for a tournament that me and my team were going to, and for karate. Yeah, and I was sitting next to this guy from a pharmaceutical company, and all he could talk about was all this money that he was. He barely started working at this company, and they threw money hand over fist to him, gave him a brand new BMW coupe, like right out of the gate. So all the incentives were. Like, and he was just talking this whole time, and I'm just like, wow, this is illuminating. I don't want that either. So I sort of put all of those things on hold, and then I became intensely fascinated with human learning, and during the process of being a graduate TA at WSU, I noticed that some magical things were happening in some classrooms and very much not happening in other ones. And as I looked into the scientific literature, I realized this is an investigatable problem. And so I started my 30 years ago, I started this journey on how do people learn, and how do how do we help them learn better? Because most of society's problems can be fixed with better learning and better critical thinking. So that's what I focused on, was critical thinking and human cognition. It was way harder than molecular biology, actually, because molecular biology is creative, but it's really more recipe driven, right? Do this, and if you do it right, then it turns out. It's like baking.
Like math?
It's, yeah. And so I just wanted something that was a little bit more...
Creative?
Yes, creative, but required more brain power in order to solve it. Like, humans are the hard problem, right? We do some stupid shit. Right? And I'm like, why? Like, you know, and so is that something that's absent in their learning, or where exactly does that come from? So, yeah, I wanted to focus on that. So I did. So I actually left my PhD program. I'd already passed my preliminary exams, you know, done really well in all of those things. And then I was just like, I'm going to switch gears.
Okay.
And people thought I was nuts.
What year were you? How far in were you?
I was about 2 years away from being done with my PhD in genetics and cell biology.
Yeah. So you had people going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Well, I felt dissatisfied.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting enough of. I like to draw from different areas, and so WSU has this amazing program, or at least they did. I don't know if they still have it, called an individual interdisciplinary doctoral program. And it was tailor-made for me, literally and figuratively. Like, it was perfect for me.
Because you can design it for what's going to work for you.
I can design it. I had already done all these courses, and I was like, okay, I can still keep those, but then I can bring these things together. And it was the best decision I ever made. So because of that decision, it made me eligible for my eventual job at CW, which is a dual appointment position.
What was it?
So initially I was hired to be in biology and teaching cell molecular biology, genetics, that kind of stuff. Ironically, to pre-meds. But also to in what was called science education at the time. So I was working with pre-service teachers for half of my job. And I did that for quite a while, and then eventually...
So you're working in College of Education and... Just biology.
Just in the... So science education was always housed in the College of the Sciences, which is very unusual. But it was a distinguishing feature that really was the envy of our colleagues nationwide, to have it immersed in the College of the Sciences. So, and that was good. We did a lot of good work there. And then eventually I left what is now STEM teaching and went to the Douglas Honors College, and that was also one of the best decisions I ever made.
And how long have you been there now?
This will be this is the end of my first year, and then I was there for sort of onboarding for about half the year and just getting to know the community. So I love it so much. Yeah. So
this is a great intro. So what's a fun fact about you that people usually don't know?
I love to read and play music. I'm not a natural musician, but I've gotten a lot better.
What do you play?
I play guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, I love doing martial arts. I've done it for almost 40 years. I love, we've had 8 people make the United States national team.
Wow.
From Ellensburg. So
wow.
Mostly female fighters. That's kind of our specialty in the dojo, is we have predominantly women, not exclusively, but we have a lot of women, and they are.
Does Jody do? Okay.
No.
Okay.
She doesn't have that mentality.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But some are former CW students that, you know, live here now and are in relationships, and, you know, they're kind of grounded in the community. So
super cool.
Yeah.
Great intro. We could probably just do this whole podcast just on your intro, because you're a multifaceted guy. So you want to do a question?
Well, let me sort of follow up a little bit on the on the integrative health part.
Yes.
So
let's hear it.
All of the sort of medical background treatment that I had was insufficient to help my wife get better after cancer treatment. And so Jody and I were listening to this fitness podcast called Mind Pump. And they had this guy on there named Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Okay.
And listening to him just sort of lit me on fire. Because I'd been having this conversation with my students for 20 years, the pre-meds. Like, hey, if you can give somebody the right nutrition, why would you give them a pill if you can just help them change their diet?
Yeah.
Like, I had those conversations for a long time.
Yeah.
And Dr. Cabral is like, it was like, what? There's actually a community of people that think like I do. So I signed up the next day to become an integrative health practitioner. And every day it just felt like a joy to be able to learn that. And then
and that's what you're doing now in the community.
That's right. And I say that I'm patient number one. Like, heart disease runs on both sides of my family. So how do I manage those things? I don't have issues, but I want to keep it that way. But Jody's patient number 2.
Okay.
And so you always have to do stuff like fix yourself before you can do anything to anybody else.
Imagine that.
And so I know. So so that was the big thing. And we took Jody, you know, chemo ravages your body. And we took her to better health than she'd ever had in her life.
Nice.
She lost 30 pounds of chemo weight. She's a fitness instructor at Jazzercise. Like, over and over and over again, everything was just starting to hit on all cylinders. And so, and then I was like, there's probably a lot of people out there that want to live better, longer. And so that's what began the journey. Yeah.
And so what's the name of your business?
IQ Performance Health.
Yep.
And then I have a physical clinic downtown at 301 2nd Avenue.
It's right by the library.
It's right across from the library.
I've seen it.
I'm in there with Robert Estes, who's one of the owners. He's a dental professional, and he also works on.
So why would someone want to come see you?
Yeah, great question. You know, health is one of those things where it's like a slow burn. You don't know that these little things are accumulating over your lifespan. Every day is a fork in the road. And you can take the shortcut or you can take the right cut. And when you accumulate enough of the shortcuts, that translates into things that you feel and decrease function on a variety of different levels. And if you take the right cut and you take more of those, your life will be better and you will live longer. And that's just a scientific fact. So that's not a guarantee. Like, if you do all these things, there are some genetic components, but we used to think that genetics was this big thing. And it's really like only 8 to 15% of our biological. So that the great news is that we have a lot of behavioral control over the quality of our lives. So when you think about living and you think about the end of your life, which some people think about, what if you could add on another 3 to 5 years, maybe 10 years
of good living?
Yeah. What would that look like? How much richer would your life be? So we are about leveraging the science of how to do that. And it's quite clear.
And you have a website.
I do. Yeah. IQperformancehealth.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people can learn about it.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Katrina's really enjoyed it. She's a
delight.
Well, I'm biased.
I know, but
she is a delight.
Yes, she has an amazing sense of humor, and the work that we did together was fantastic, and that's really what it's all about. So I'm not driven by power, and I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by service.
You know, I'm glad you just said that, because you're someone I like listening to, and you can tell pretty quickly with a guy like you that you've got a lot of knowledge up here, and I've never felt like you're up here and I'm down here.
I don't feel like that.
I've never felt
I don't feel like I'm better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Right? It's my job is to take the hard science, to understand it fully, and then to make it communicate, to be able to communicate it to somebody in a way that they can use in their lives.
And that they can receive it. Right?
Yeah, I don't.
Because a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, they're not able to communicate in a way that someone wants to receive it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of practitioners are like, I'm up here and you're down here, and it's like,
well, it shows up in a lot of different ways, David. So I'll give you an example. Like, and part of this is part of the medical, industrial, pharmaceutical, insurance complex.
Yeah.
Which is a doctor is constantly pushed to turnover.
Yeah.
So, it's just endemic in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the 5 to 7 minutes that the doctor on average spends with a patient, I spend an hour with my clients.
Yeah.
And for me, it's about building a lifelong connection with that person.
Mm-hmm.
I have clients all over the country, some who have lots of money and some that have little money, and they all get treated with the same level of care and compassion. And my desire, genuine, authentic desire to help people live better longer. That's why it's my slogan, live better longer.
And you look great. You're physically in good health.
I feel good.
I'm turning 59 this year. How old are you?
I'll be 58 this year.
Wow. I think you probably get the same thing. I'm fortunate, genetics or whatever, that you look great.
Thank you.
And we start hearing that from the young kids now.
Of course.
Oh, you look good for your age.
Right.
Okay, let's do a question. And this is written, I'm going to actually change a word here. It says you work with students every day, but I'm going to say people. You work with people every day, and you also study health and performance from that scientific perspective. When you look at people today, humans, what patterns do you see in how they're approaching their health, energy, and well-being? And there's no judgment here, but what do you see?
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, David, because non-judgment is the first step.
Yeah.
Right? So I have a few people who are actively in recovery.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's zero judgment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The goal is to make vibrant health the thing that becomes more magnetized than whatever the substance is. And to do that in a way, multiple people, my youngest clients below 18, my oldest clients over 85, and everybody in between. About 75 to 80% of my practice are women. And for some women, when they come in and they realize that there's an actual health space, right? That just, there's sobbing, there's shoulders shaking, because I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. So I want to make sure that that's clear and conveyed. And, our emotional mental state has a huge impact on our biology.
Massive impact.
So to be able to, an integrative health practitioner works at all aspects of the human being, right? It's not just nutrition and diet. It's not just exercise. It's stress, toxin removal, rest and recovery, emotional balance, right? Using the best scientific tools that we have, and success mindset, and all of those things together help someone become the best and healthiest version of themselves. That's how we do it.
About when do you think our traditional healthcare system, well, I guess I don't know, has it ever been this?
No.
It's never been this.
No.
So we've never gone from a place of this to now what we are now, which is 7 to 8 minutes with your doctor, take a pill, I'll see you next time.
No, it's never really been like that, although I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush.
Okay.
Certainly there are doctors that are emotionally committed at that level, but the system is set up in such a way. So I teach pre-meds every course, right? And I have students that are actively in med school right now. And I hear from them, hey, Dr. Q, blah, blah, blah. You build those relationships and, they evolve over time, right? So I know what the medical school curriculum looks like. They get 4 years of pharmaceutical training. They get less than 1 day of nutrition training. Less than 1 day.
And in my passion area of recovery from substance use disorders, I hear there's either nothing or like 1 day, right, on how to help someone find a life in recovery.
Yeah, and I mean, you're the shining example of that. Like what's possible in order to be able to do that. My father was addicted to everything there was to be addicted to. And you see how that can destroy lives on the front line, right? And you think,
how do we come back from this, not addiction, but from a healthcare system? Are we able to come back?
Not in the way that, it all depends on what your need is. If your need is acute, you go to a doctor.
Sure.
Right? if you want to focus on health, I think you go to an integrative health practitioner.
And I'm a guy when I love my doctor, but when I go, I'm prepared. And I'm not just going to let him, and he's a good guy. He's actually a younger doctor, but I have a conversation. I have
100%.
questions.
Yeah.
You know, I believe in my life in a balance, right?
Yes.
An overall balance of
Yes.
things. The average person, though, that doesn't happen, though. Do you think when
No.
they go to their doctor?
No, I think ultimately in the United States that integrative health will become the standard of care for health.
You're hearing about it more.
You hear about it a lot more.
Compass Health, that's a different way of getting your health care, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think people are recognizing that the word integrative health is carrying more water than it did before. And so more people are like, "Oh, I'm an integrative health."
Saying it,
you're
but
not.
are they?
You're not actually,
Yeah.
right?
It's like treatment centers that say we're doing individualized care. Looks good on a pamphlet, but
Right.
you get in and it's the same old same.
It's the same old, same old. Yeah, there's no one approach that I take with any two people. Every single person is different.
So what would you say to a person who's listening to this? What should they, if they want to improve their health, and this is actually one of it, but when they go talk to their doctor, or what questions should they ask?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. When I go to my doctor, and of course I have a
You have a doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, I still want to get a yearly checkup.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I don't have diagnostic tools like they have,
Yep.
like a MRI or that sort of thing.
I just got a full colonoscopy, right?
Right.
I got to go to my doctor, use
Yep.
health insurance, do all that, right?
Yep. Yep.
Go.
And so, it's about complementing the things that are already happening with your primary care physician. But they're not focused on your holistic health. They're focused on these sort of
Acute problems.
I have a symptom, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And frequently they get on their phone.
Yeah.
What symptoms do you have?
Yeah.
Right. So
now they've got the AIs being
Yes.
infused now.
So
Anyway, go
I
ahead.
have a little bit of a litmus test when I go in to a doctor, and I'm like, this is going to be a partnership.
Yes.
I'm not going to just do what you say because you say it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want to see how you respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know more about lipid metabolism, for example, than they do, that's a problem. Because they've gone to medical school.
Wow. Oh, wow. Your bar's really high.
Well, that's for me.
Yeah.
Right? But here's...
My thing is, are they going to listen to me? Are they
Well,
going to... If I feel like they're actually listening to me.
Yes. If they're not listening, then...
Yeah.
But again, it's not a commentary on whether or not they're good or bad people, right? It's the system.
It's my health care. I don't mean to sound brash, but I don't care what they think. I want to know, are they actually going to listen to my concerns?
I'll give you an example. My doctor nagged me for the longest time. I want you to take a statin. Well, why? Well, your cholesterol's 220. Okay. Well, that's barely over the limit. Like, if I was running statistics, it might not even be significant. Why do you want me to take a statin? There's like 8 statins. Which one do you want me to take, and why do you want me to take it? Right? And there's always this little bit of this hesitation, right? So I put them off for a year, and they just kept nagging me about it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take a statin. So I started taking a statin.
Okay.
And then we were on a family vacation, and my muscles just felt achy in a weird way. And I was like, at first I was like, am I just getting older?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. It felt off. It didn't feel like normal achy, like, oh, I go to the gym, hit it pretty hard, and I'm sore. It was a weird achy. It's hard to describe.
Mm.
And I remember I was sitting in Jody's and my bedroom in this place that we had, and I realized it was the statin. And I started swearing. I was so mad. So I stopped taking it, and the muscle aches went away within 2 to 3 days. And then I started digging for what can you actually do?
Yeah.
What can you actually
find
do?
out?
So I'll get a little sciencey here for just a second, but I'll use terminology that
I'm just going to say it. So I'm listening because I'm on a statin.
Okay.
Because I was bugged because my cholesterol was really high.
Mm-hmm.
Like dangerously high.
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know how high it was. I think 300. Could that
Mhm.
be a number? And
That's a high number.
yeah.
Do you
And
have
she said it was
familial
genetics.
hypercholesterolemia?
I have no idea.
That's a big word, but basically what it means is, did you inherit high cholesterol
Yes.
in your family?
Yes.
Okay. A statin. Okay. This is
great. Yes.
this is why I get irritated sometimes, is because imagine that you're trying to deliver a package to somebody's house.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you have 8 different trucks of different sizes.
Okay.
The packages inside all of the trucks are the same,
Okay.
but the size of the truck differs.
Okay. I'm following.
The packages are not any different,
Right.
right? What really matters is the size of the truck. So what's in the truck is cholesterol and triglycerides.
Okay.
And they have to be in a truck because they're fatty, and you can't transport fatty things through water. They repel each other on an atomic level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to put them in a carrier. It's called a lipoprotein. Doesn't matter,
Got
but
it.
there's a thing that carries it around. And the size of that varies.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So what's the size of mine?
If you have too many packages in the wrong sized truck, when you get an injury in your artery, it can fit into that crack, bust, dump its contents in there.
And
Then you get things like platelets, which are sticky, and then you get calcification, and you start to get a plaque, right? And then your arteries start to close, and then that becomes an issue, right? Your blood pressure changes, whatever. So statins reduce the number of packages.
Okay.
But they don't do anything about the truck.
Oh. So it's not doing me any good?
Not necessarily, but so I don't give medical advice. I don't give medical diagnoses or treatments. So I want to be clear about that. Absolutely. But I am a scientist, and Dr. Michael Lustig wrote a book called Metabolical. I recommend everybody read it. It's a little sciencey, but it's going to really nail some things down. So, for example, one of the key ratios, let me back up. The HDL particle is one size truck. The LDL particle is a different size truck.
That's the one we always hear you don't want to have bad.
It's not bad cholesterol. Cholesterol is cholesterol. You have to have it.
Why do they call it bad?
Because it's the package. It's like saying the package in the truck is bad. No, it's the truck that's the problem.
We're back to the truck. Interesting.
You see what I'm saying? So there are like 8 size different, like there's very large or, very high density lipoproteins, really big ones, and there are really small ones. We spend this time focused on 2 of the suite of particles that are available. So what we really need to look at is the ratio of our triglycerides to our HDL. Dr. Lustig, he's a medical doctor. So
stop focusing on these, focus on this other area.
It's one of and the other thing you need to do when you go to your doctor is ask for 2 additional markers to be added to your panel.
I always ask for my panel. I want all the information.
For sure, but they don't include these as a matter of course.
As a default.
Even though the research shows that they're 2 of the most associated with heart disease, which are apoprotein B and lipoprotein little a. Those are very technical words, so I'll say them again. Apolipoprotein B and lipoprotein little a. If you ask for those 2 things to be added to your panel, they will add those 2 things. They give you a better indication of the association with heart disease. But the question then is, if you have really high cholesterol or you have plaques already, like what can you do about that? Statins don't do very much for existing plaques, like 13%. That's not very much. But there is a natural enzyme called nattokinase, which is shown in double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized clinical studies to reduce arterial plaques by 36.6%.
But those aren't sold by pharmaceutical companies.
They are not. They're cheap.
They don't make millions of dollars.
They do not. Yeah.
But a statin is making...
Some people think that statins should be put in the municipal water supply.
Really?
Yes. As if there's not already enough pharmaceuticals
in our water supply. Yeah. To another question. I think we could talk all day. This is just fascinating.
Let's do it.
Students, and honestly a lot of adults, are constantly bombarded with health advice online.
Totally.
Oh yay.
Yeah.
From your perspective, we're getting to know this guy. It's like, wow, like, and you talk in a way that it's receptible. Like, you're talking big words, big language, but I'm able to listen, so I think others are too. I don't know. From your perspective as a researcher and educator, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about nutrition, fitness, and sustainable health? What are those big misconceptions? What's the misinformation they're getting?
I mean, most of it. If it comes from social media, it's probably, I mean, it always depends on the source. Okay. For example, if an 18-year-old is giving nutrition and fitness advice, I love 18-year-olds. I work with them all the time, but they don't necessarily know very much. And an 18-year-old's physiology is nothing like someone who's in middle 50s and upper middle age, 40s. Right? They're just not the same. I mean, does the machine...
And anyone can jump on now and be a nutritionist, right?
Right.
So that's an issue.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, what ultimately determines it for me, being a professional scientist, is, for me, it's about the data. So what do we do to get the data? We do functional medicine lab testing. And it used to be, even when Katrina was doing them, they were a lot more expensive. I have a lab right now that I can deliver to people for $147. It's a tenth of what it was. So economy of scale definitely helps with that. It doesn't have the full suite, but it has the most important things.
But you're going back, you got to look at the data.
You have to look at the data.
You have to look at what your body's actually saying.
Yes, because how you feel on a daily basis is sort of digital. It's I feel fine or I don't feel fine, right? But it's like a duck on the surface of the water. Things look calm on the surface, but below they can be going crazy. And what you want to avoid is the accumulation of problems. Because then you start to rise to the level of I feel it, and now there's a problem. Well, what if we could do small things? Like make some small changes to your diet and change your exercise profile, right? And get rid of some of the toxicity that's in your body. Like, we can measure all of those things. We can measure not only before you do anything, but after, so you can see how much you've changed over time. And we have multiple people, including in our community, where we have repeat data, and we can see exactly how much they have improved.
So what are some of the other misconceptions or misinformation about fitness?
Yeah, I mean, just fitness is part of it. So let's maybe think about the whole is there's so many things that you can do that don't cost any money at all.
I'm a believer.
Right?
Yeah.
Sleep is medicine.
Yes. Jesus, yes.
You have to get enough sleep, and it has to be the right quality sleep.
Yes.
There's so many things that happen when you sleep. Deep sleep, first half of the night, sort of REM sleep, and the dreaming part is in the second half. You go through these cycles, and you need like 5 cycles. And, your brain needs time to be able to wash itself in the first part, to clear out a lot of the stuff.
Our body's working while we're sleeping.
Very much so.
I preach about, for people who are changing their life or, in early recovery, what I think you need to focus on right out of the gate is getting consistent sleep every day of the week.
It's essential.
Consistent, like getting up and going to bed at the same time every day.
It's very good advice. And I would say the other thing that you can do if your cycle is off, and I don't mean menstrual cycle, I mean like your day-night rhythm, is on a day like today especially, get up and within the first 30 minutes, go outside if it's not too cold.
Even if it's too cold.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm always thinking barefoot, right? Yeah, so barefoot would be ideal, is to get your feet on the planet. And then also to be able to get, don't look at the sun, obviously, but get natural light in your eyeballs. It has this huge hormonal cascading effect that syncs your body and your physiology up to the day.
And how much does that cost?
It
costs nothing.
No, it costs nothing.
I am ritualistic, like me and Katrina both, about getting up at the same time and going to bed at the same time. Damn near every day. And the first thing, you're going to love this. The first thing I do when I get out of bed is open all the blinds and the curtains.
It's a great idea.
So start getting, and that was actually for me kind of an antidepressant because I used to keep it all closed and blah. And then I go on a morning walk every day, Ian.
That's great. That's a really
every day.
That's what we call, David, habit stacking.
Yes.
So not only are you getting the light in your eyes, right, and try and avoid like sunglasses, right? But getting that light, the windows do block some of that, that helpful UV. So getting outside is valuable, even for just 15 minutes or so.
Yeah. And
then going for a walk.
Yeah.
So I'll just give your listeners a really easy way to be able to help control your blood sugar, right? So I have a lot of people who have type 2, or at least they were moving towards type 2, and then we sort of moved them away. The reason why people do that is because they become less sensitive to insulin, which is the key that unlocks the door that allows sugar to go into your cells. If it doesn't do that, it stays in your blood. And when it stays out there, then you have high blood sugar, right? So you want your body to be sensitive to insulin. So here's 2 things you can do super easy. After you eat lunch, go for a 15-minute walk. It's going to reduce the insulin spike. It's going to make your body more sensitive. And then the other thing is, if you do that after dinner also, which the Italians call a passeggiata, which is just an evening walk that they always do. Both of those things can help improve your body's responsiveness to insulin.
Oh, thank you.
Doesn't cost anything.
That's beautiful.
Also, spacing your meals out helps a lot.
Yeah, I pay attention to what I always say. It's about balance, paying attention to how much sugar and caffeine you're putting in your body. I know you need to pay attention to a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
But
there are simple things to do.
There are, and I'm going to start doing that. Like, I like to eat light. I don't like to eat any heavy meal, but sometimes I'll eat and then take a nap. And what you're saying is go for a walk, and then maybe take a nap.
The reason why you're taking a nap is because your insulin is probably a little bit higher, so your energy goes.
What's a habit for me? I love my naps. And it's not a long nap.
I'm not saying naps are bad. I'm not saying naps are bad.
I'm glad you're not saying that. I would have to ask you to leave. But I'm going to go back though. I think what you just said is a powerful thing, because a lot of society, what do we do when we eat? We sit, we scroll on our phone, we watch TV, or we go to sleep. And you're saying you can do something really simple.
Yeah.
Go for a walk.
Your blood goes to 2 places, basically, right? It either goes to your core or it goes to your extremities.
And if you don't do anything, it's going to your core.
If you're amped up, it's going to go out. It's going to go away from your gut, right? If you're eating, the blood comes from the outside and focuses more on your gut so that you can digest it.
Oh my God.
Right? We have limited energy.
Yeah.
So if you think of blood on some level as where's the energy go? It's defined, right? We have a defined amount of these things.
Yeah.
So where are the resources going to go? They're going to go where the function is needed. So outside, okay, if I'm going to run and jump and do all that stuff, I need the blood on the outside in my muscle. If I'm going to digest and relax, I need the blood to come in. See?
This is great. You've spent a lot of time just in this conversation, and you do it really well. I just want you to recognize that you are a really smart guy. Like, I'm putting you up here like, wow, like you really understand this shit, but you say it in a way that while it might be a little bit hard to comprehend, I want to comprehend it.
Yeah, too often scientists are trying to baffle people with their bullshit. That's not the goal. Yeah. The goal of science is to serve, to explore, to discover, and then it's ultimately to serve. That's my opinion. Yeah. Right? My scientific ethics are not for sale. Right? Some scientists are. We see it all the time. Right? Whether it's, Oppenheimer and, the development of an atom bomb, whatever, there's a million
pharmaceuticals.
There's a million examples of that, right? Mine are not for sale. And so my mantra, my drive on a daily basis is service to people. And the best sort of reward that I get from that is seeing someone's life just flourish,
fucking improve, right? Like
just to get better and flourish. And then every day that you see them, right? You ever seen that movie Doc Hollywood back in the 80s with Michael J. Fox?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Right. He comes to this town and like he's this hotshot guy, and I'm not saying I'm a hotshot guy. I don't feel that way at all. But what I love about that movie is by the end he realizes it's all about the community. It's all about the people, and it's all about what he can do to help people. And that's really where I'm at. And so that's the best, is just to see my neighbors and my community members. You know, we live here, we love it here, and
let's help each other.
Let's help each other. Yeah.
Okay, last question for you, and then we're going to close it up with 2 closing questions.
Okay.
You've spent a lot of time translating these really complex scientific ideas and equations really into practical strategies, right?
They have to be, yeah.
Yeah. When you think about the people you teach along the way, the people, like when you and I are having this conversation, when you interact with people and you're able to teach, what's one lesson about health or behavior change that you really hope they carry with them long after they leave that conversation with you?
Yeah. You have to realize that your biological destiny is largely in your own hands.
Yeah.
And if you want the quality of your life will be a direct reflection of the daily decisions that you make.
And it's now. It's not 10 years from now when you leave college or when you get the new girl or you get the new, it's now what we're doing now.
Today.
Yeah.
Today. And you know, the challenge that people have, and one of the things that they hire me for, is to help them translate. How do I change my day? How do I change my nutrition? I don't even know what to eat. Like these people say keto and this person lost all that weight, and they don't realize that their liver and their kidneys are paying the price, right? But they can't feel those things. So they're like, no, I'm fine. I feel great. Well, you're not supposed to eat butter and bacon every single day because you will get heart disease. And that's just going to happen for the vast majority of people. The other thing I would say is your DNA is not your destiny. Just because you have 2 bad copies of a gene and they don't make functional enzymes does not mean that you're going to die earlier. You could it is a higher probability if you do nothing. I'll give you an example. Stephen Cabral has lost the genetic lottery on just about everything. He has all kinds of metabolic issues, and yet he is the picture of health. Why is that? Is because he gives his body the things that it needs, even when his body doesn't make it. It's really that simple. What do you want your life to be like? Have a picture of what you want your life to be like, not just today, but a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 50 years down the road. What do you want it to look like? Do you want it to be in sickness? In 1990, 4 to 5% of the population had type 2 diabetes.
Now.
In 2026, 43%.
Oh my God.
43%. You think that's an accident?
And we're not heading away from that, are we?
No, we're not. It's going up, right? Obesity is going up, right? So if there's one thing that your audience could do to be able to improve their lives, reduce the amount of ultra-processed foods. If you do not do that, your body will be inflamed 24/7, and it will lead to a variety of different inflammation-based diseases like heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia. Nobody wants that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask it. What's your view? Because I have my views, but mine are just limited to my views on diets and fads. You're a scientist. What's your view on, what is it, GLP-1? Everyone's giving themselves shots.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're asking this. Our bodies already make GLP-1. Yeah. Like,
but this is working. People are losing weight.
They are indeed.
So what's happening biologically?
Read the box. It literally says on the side of the box, can cause complications, medical complications like thyroid cancer.
And we're not going to know because it's so new.
People,
until
if you're morbidly obese, you're 200, 300, 400 pounds overweight, it's probably the right tool, at least initially.
Sure.
Right. But for people who want to lose, so I have a client who used to be a CW student, came to one of my seminars, and early 40s. And I was like, I've always had a super direct relationship with this person. And I said, what's wrong with you? And they said, what do you mean? And I said, you're going to be dead in 10 years. They clocked in at 295 pounds. They could barely move. And I said, is this what you want your life to be like? Because from here to the end of your life is long and slow and suffering. It's filled with suffering. Is that what you want? So she became a client. She lost 70 pounds in 7 months.
Wow. GLP-1?
No. All natural.
Really?
Yes. Diet. Hardly even any exercise, honestly. Just wasn't there yet. But mostly nutritional changes. Re-educating about nutrition. And here's the thing, David. Nobody wants to sit on the couch and eat a dry bag of broccoli. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. How Jody is exceptional at this, which is how can we make really nutritious food really delicious? Like, how do we do that? She's very creative in the way that she approaches those things. We wrote a cookbook, so if people do it like a functional medicine detox with us, that is included as part of that, so that people understand, what do I eat? It's not just, here's my list of carbs, here's my proteins, here's my fats. It's like, what can I eat? Well, how about these yummy things right here? And then people continue those things after the fact. So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right, here we go. Parting questions. If someone listening right now feels stuck, whether it's with their health, their habits, or just the direction of their life, what would you want them to hear today?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to grab onto the life that you really want. You don't have to settle. You don't have to suffer. Like, humans, there's a lot of suffering everywhere. Why add to the pile when you don't have to? A lot of this is just about re-educating, about pointing people in the right direction.
Yes.
I don't make any people's decisions for them. I'm the guide. I'm like, okay, let's try this. Oh, that's not working. Let's try this. That's my purpose. That's my goal, is to be an educator, right? And to be a motivator, and to provide the structure that people need in order to be able to achieve those goals. But don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid to change, because if you don't change, life will force it on you anyway.
Yes, and with health, I think we see that happen.
Yes,
Physical
absolutely.
health for sure.
Yeah.
Mental health for sure. Drugs and alcohol for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all things that mess with us. Like, I say this all the time. I used to drink a little bit. I'm not a big drinker, but I used to drink more wine, maybe 2 glasses a week, maybe.
Sure.
But I almost never drink anymore. And the reason for that is because I feel so good on a daily basis that even when I have the smallest amount of alcohol, my body can feel it. And I'm like,
And
why?
Yeah.
So when I go out, I get more mocktails and stuff like that. It's just much more enjoyable. I drink kombucha pretty much every day. You know, and so when your body feels, people that are listening have they have little idea about how much better they can feel. And when they start to feel that much better, everything else in life feels more possible.
That is great. That's really good. Okay, we're wrapping this up. What's a question you've always wanted to ask me?
What was the trigger for you to where you decided, I'm not going to spiral down anymore and I'm going to spiral up instead?
That's good. I chuckle a little because I'm not sure I could have spiraled much further down. Now, with that said, I could have. but
Into a pine box.
Or a jail cell for a
Yeah.
long time, because that's where I was headed. But as we're sitting here talking about your focus, which is on people's integrated overall physical health, which is a lot of your focus, I've been thinking about, people who turn their lives around going from active addiction to recovery. And I was at a point in the mid 90s where it's like it was either, I was going to die or be in prison for a very long time. And then it was right here in this town. This is my anniversary month, 19 years this month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That I was in a mental health crisis. I had a business downtown that was financially a wreck. A lot of people think it was because I returned to use that it was. No, it was before that.
So that was an amplifier, not a cause.
Yes, absolutely. But and I was going through a divorce. My dog, your dog guy, the dog I had at the time, I had to put him down at a young age.
And it was death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. And I remember it was right over here on 3rd Street, and being in my little duplex, just wanting to take one more hit and maybe it would blow my heart up. I remember thinking that, right? So that's just my experience. And so it was like, I've got to do something different. And as we've been talking, I have a life today that I like living. It's like you hear people, I have a life today worth living. I've created a life today that I want to
100%.
live. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, so those were 2 of my points along the way. I've had many other points where I just go, I want better. I'm a dad. That's like been my key role. I want to be someone my son looks at and goes, not I want to be like him, but I want someone to follow. Now being a grandfather, I went down and watched Anthony at his first track meet, discus, and I hung out there for 5 hours because that's what you do at those things.
Oh, yes.
But I think I get to be present in my life today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the flip side of it. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It's always amazing to me how, people talk about hitting rock bottom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's got to be this moment of sort of crystallizing of there's a simple choice. There's a fork in the road.
Yeah.
There's death, incarceration this
Mm-hmm.
way,
Mm-hmm.
and there's vitality this way. It's the same in health.
It is, because I've thought of it a few times as we've had this conversation. The opposite of addiction is connection. In a nutshell, that's it. I haven't thought about drinking or smoking crack or pot or any substance in a long time. Why? Because I feel connected to the world around me.
I think if I could,
Please.
I think that there is a level of vulnerability that must be present in order for that to take place. And you seem to have embraced that.
And that level of vulnerability, and that's why I'm glad you're here, is because I've had people, places along the way who have allowed that to happen with no judgment, no stigma, a safe, like we beat people up because, well, why don't they just change their lives? Do they have a roof over their head? Do they feel safe where they're sleeping? Do they have access? You're going to love this. Do they have access to health care, to mental health care, to a dentist, like little basic, not just acute care, but so I've been afforded those opportunities that have given me the space to be vulnerable. Now, years later, I say that I don't care what people think, but I do. But I want this for others, just like you want physical health for others, and just overall, we're the same. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
But going back though, for someone who's struggling with addiction to be vulnerable, that space has to be available to them. And that's why 12-step programs can be that space, or it could be a religious organization, or it can just be another human in a position of power. I say a lot of times, could be a probation officer, could be a law enforcement, could be a doctor, who looks at them without judgment, who looks at them and does like, I know what you would do. Like, let's talk about it. then they can be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a system, just like with healthcare, that is fraught with issues with addiction. It's stigmatized, it's moralized, it's judged more than any other behavioral health condition out there.
I have no doubt.
Right? So that's why I'm vulnerable. It goes way back for me that there, and even to this day, that there are people, places, and things along the way that have given me the space to be able to be vulnerable.
Awesome.
Yeah. This has been great.
Really good.
Yeah. Okay.